Yo, what's up, guys? Mike Thomas, aka the Young Trishler here, and I am with Corey Bown, not Brown, and also the Bown. I'm also with these goons. So, Corey, what did you do today? What'd you play?
I got second place at the Tinley Park Regional playing Dracoslayer.
Oh, that's spicy. Yeah. Why not Tier?
Tier sucks.
What?
Smile.
What?
Copio.
You hear this kid?
Nah, realistically, I didn't play Tier just because I'm not super comfortable with the deck, and I've been playing this deck ever since it came out. I played it for YCS Minneapolis. Me and my teammate Chris worked on the list, and this is just kind of a little bit of an iteration on what we played there.
All right. Well, let's hop into the deck profile.
All right, sure. So we have, it looks thick, but it is 40 cards. So first we play 2 Master Pendulum. You need to play 2 of this card because if you open it with Luster Pendulum, it actually gives you something you're able to do because you can pop it, add another copy, and then if you have any other Pendulum monster, you just kind of get to combo from there. It's also a low scale that can clear itself, which is kind of important. Then for the other Dracoslayers, you play 3 of the rest of them. So for those of you who don't know what these cards do, so Dynamite Powerload, he special summons the other scale, and then when he's tributed off the field, he adds back a Dracoslayer monster. So usually you leave him on the board as you're comboing into Apollo, so that way if you get nibbed, you still get resources back. Ignis Phoenix is a plush fire for Dracoslayers. It realistically is the card that helps you extend the most when you're in a weird board state. Majesty Pegasus is probably the best one because when it's in scale, if you have a Magispectre or a Dracoslayer in your other scale, you can add a Dracoslayer from your deck to your hand. That's a different name. And then you do not have to pop a card. You can opt to not. Which oftentimes helps you add an additional resource in case you'd be a card short for like the discard to add the field spell when it's summoned. And then you have 3 Luster Pendulum because this card's just cracked with like any of these. So that's 14 Dracoslayers in total. For the rest of the Pendulum monsters, we played 1 Chaos Emperor prize card. The reason
Is that the prize card?
Well, not the actual prize card. It's the reprint. I'm kind of broke. Anyway,
can't be that.
So the reason you play 1 of this is because it makes Skullcrobat Joker plus any Bestial monster full combo, which the full combo is Apollosa, Stellar Knight, Constellar Diamond, Hope Harbinger, and then usually you have full scales for follow-up. So then we play 2 Joker and 3 Bunbuku. It was 3 and 3, but I decided to cut down a normal summon because there were just other cards I wanted to play. I never missed the 3rd Joker. Oftentimes I was siding down to 1 when I was going second because the less normal summons I can open when I'm going second, the better. And then Bunbuku's in here because it just searches Majesty Pegasus. Because each of them isn't named it, but their first line of text is all, this card treated as a Magispectre, Ignite, Dynamist. You get the point. 3 Revolution Dragon. This card's the most broken card in the deck.
What does this card do?
So in the scale, you target a Fusion, Synchro, or XYZ dragon in the graveyard. You special summon it back, and you pop it out of the scale. Then its in-hand effect that you use the most is discard, pay 500, add a level 8 or lower Dragon Pendulum monster. So when you open like this plus a Bestial, you go discard, add the Chaos Emperor because it's level 8, banish it with the Bestial, Chaos Emperor, add it back, and then this goes and grabs Luster Pendulum. That makes Beyond the Pendulum.
So that's Monster Reborn and Rhoda in the same card.
Yes, and not once per turn on either effect.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. So that's all for the Pendulums. 23 Pendulums, I think. Then for the rest of the deck, we have Sarnier, Triple Druid Worm, Triple Magnemite. These are kind of a necessary evil in the format if you're not playing Tier Element, and even if you are playing Tier Element, just because there's so many of them. I was testing 9 Bestials, but ultimately I cut down Sarnier because I didn't feel like I needed more copies of it. Plus, I couldn't really fit more copies of it because we also played 3 Fenrir. This is kind of like one of our only go second cards, but like it's super good in this deck because when you go first, in awkward hands you can go like special Fenrir, effect add another copy of itself, activate Sky Iris. Sky Iris pop the Fenrir to add Revolution Dragon, and then summon the second one out of your hand before you continue to combo. So it allows you to net an additional resource out of a hand that otherwise wouldn't really get far.
How did you feel about combining the Fenrir and the Bestials? Do you feel like they conflict?
No, well, first of all, I never drew them together.
Okay.
But like oftentimes, if I open a Fenrir plus 1 Bestial, I just hold both of them for my opponent's turn because 1 Bestial isn't going to stop the Chillman player's turn. And then if they don't clear my Bestial, my Fenrir is dead in hand.
Okay.
So 33 monsters in total, I think. Then for spells, there's 7. 1 Call by the Grave. This card is goated. 1 Dynamist Charge, 1 Rhoda, 1 Sky Iris, and 3 Tactics. I felt like 3 Tactics I feel like Tactics is just an insane card this format. Every hand I opened it, I felt like, even going second when my hand wasn't super strong, so long as like I had a way to bait out crime, I felt like I was just going to win the game off of talents alone. Sky Iris is the combo piece. Rhoda adds Ignis Phoenix because it's a warrior. Charge adds Dynamite Power Load, and then when a Dynamist goes to the extra deck from the field, it adds it back to the hand mandatory. So that's 40 cards there. Onto the extra deck. We played 1 Fusion, 2 Synchro, 1 XYZ, 2 Ignisters mandatory. You can't play one of it, otherwise you get uber punished. And usually you go through at least one of each in your opening combo, and leaving the second Ignister in the extra deck for killing the opponent going second, or on the next turn. Sometimes you can even leave this up so you have additional follow-up, because this card on field protects your Pendulum Scales and any Pendulum monsters you control from battle or card effects. And when you combine that with the Majesty Pegasus discard effect, it also makes your Dracoslayers untargetable. So essentially, they all just become Magispectors that can't die by battle. So they have to get sent, non-targeting, which is basically Zeus, and that's it. We played the Telenite package. These cards overperformed. Never made the Deltaros. Deltaros always just got used as material. And I had a lot of people confused as to what Ptolemy did, because they'd see me make it with 2 materials, and I'd go effect. They're like, you only have 2 materials. I'm like, yeah, you attach the material, and then I'm going to detach 3, and I'm going to make diamond. And against Tyrannus, that's just an FTK. And then it's also better than Dweller, in my opinion, at least right now with the way the format is shaped, because it matches up better into Sprite, because while it's on the board, they cannot Angler send, or they cannot Sprint send Angler. And then, so you're forcing them to play very linearly into like Gigantic Sprite. And then when they go Gigantic Sprite, you just detach and negate it because it served its purpose at that point. It's literally traded like 1 for 3. Then we played 1 Baguska and 1 number 38. Baguska carried, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of times when like, because like my opponents could like break my board, but then they couldn't do anything after the fact. So normally I would just break their board back, put them on even less resources, make Baguska, say go. And then they usually just pass back to me, and I'm like, okay, switch everything to attack, do everything again, die. And then Hope Harbinger. I never got anyone with the redirect attack effect. So people actually knew what it did today. It was crazy. But a lot of people scooped because of it. So for links, we played 1 Beyond the Pendulum, 1 Dark Charmer, 1 Spheres.
Why didn't you play 2 of the Beyond?
I didn't play 2 Beyond the Pendulum because I felt like any hand that could make the first, get negated, and make the second one, I felt like those hands could just do more other ways. Because, like, if this ever gets, like, orange lighted or gammaed, you have to have an additional body to continue to extend. Meanwhile, you can just have, like, more pen scales and just, like, pen and make an okay board, not, like, your best board. But, like, you're already playing through, like, 2 cards by that point. Dark Charmer overperformed a couple times. I stole some Magnamuts against, I think it was my round 8 opponent. I used it to reborn Sharon out of his graveyard. Linked this for Celine because it's a spellcaster. This is after this got orange lighted, by the way. So this got orange lighted. We made Dark Charmer. We took his Sharon. We made Celine. We reborned. We overlaid the Sharon and the thing we reborned for Ptolemaeus to make Diamond, to make it so we couldn't play the game. Then the bigger links we played Celine, Access Code Apollo. I don't know that I'd play Access Code going forward. It was probably the card I made the least out of the extra deck today, but a couple times when I did make it, it did win me the game because this plus Ignister is 8150 damage, and then Apollo is just part of the end board. So it's the extra deck, 15, and then side deck. This is where a lot of people get confused. So I played the Gamma package. I didn't play Shifter. I didn't play the other 2 Bitch Shields on the side deck. I felt like Gamma was better into rogue matchups like Flunder and Sprite, even though Sprite isn't like really rogue. But like it's better into those matchups than the other cards are. And then like it can even like hit shotgun shifters and stuff like that, or like it essentially acts as like another Bitch Shield when they're using an effect to fuse out of graveyard, because you just negate it and destroy it, but it's already engraved, so it doesn't trigger again. So then we played the Go First package of Ariadne Triple Judgment.
Oh my god.
Yeah, this is what makes the board insane when we go games 2 and 3, because a lot of times the only way that Tearlament's ever cracking your board is droplets or Dark Ruler. Shoutouts to Charlie, my only loss, who had double droplet Angler. Judgment can't quite beat that. So
should have had 2 of them.
Yeah, so what you do is you add this off Beyond the Pendulum. You have Sky Iris up. You go Pen. You start using like Magister to link climb up into Apollo. Then you go Sky Iris, pop the Ariadne, add Revolution, add a Judgment. And then Revolution proceeds to get you to the rest of your combo. We played the one-time card. We played the Cowboy. It never came up. Hilariously enough, there was a scenario where I sided it in because we were getting close to time and I didn't want to get cheesed. But if his unknown back row wasn't Cosmic Cyclone, I actually could have just killed him, because my hand was like three of the Dynamist one, Tactics, called by something else, and so I went like normal summon battle phase. He went IP. This was after I like gammaed his blue. He chained Shifter, so everything was banished. So he passed on Dark IP set back row. He went IP into Avermax. I went Tactics, take the Avermax, scale both of the other Dynamites, effect to special the other scale. He cosmicked it there, but if he hadn't, it'd have been 17 3K for 64, and then overlay for Cowboy for the last 800, because he took 1,000 after he started for Carrot. Then I played the one Zombie World. This is the only other field spell I played. This is a side-in against Flunder, which I played 0 of.
Lucky you.
I don't really fear Flunder. Like, the side deck is built for Flunder, and I just never saw the deck. But we played the one Zombie World because you can pass on a board of, like, Spheres, Baguska, Zombie World, Set Judgment, post-side, which they never break that. Played 2 Dark Ruler. This came in a couple times against Sprite. I didn't want to play 3 because it's not, like, super good in the format. It's only for Sprite, and 2 fit my siding pattern better. The last card is 3 Lightning Storm, which never got sided in because I never saw Flunder. So,
fair enough.
Yeah.
So, do you have any shout-outs you want to give?
First of all, shout-outs to the team. All of them are real ones. Shout-outs to Mike behind the camera for constantly giving me crap about this deck to make me stubborn enough to just stick with it. As mentioned before, shout-outs to Chris for like deck building it with me before Minneapolis. Me and him worked super hard on the list. I'm just sad that I couldn't have performed better at Minneapolis with it, even though I started off like 5-0 or something. Trying to think of anyone else. Shout-outs to all the homies from locals, Aaron, Mitchell. Shout-outs to Ben. Glad you're okay, bud. I think that's about it.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Corey, and congratulations once again.
Thank you.